It's about music. It's about music playlisting and its impact on the music industry. You're welcome to the Red Lounge with me, Tilia Kinipa, and I'm hosting Yaldan from OnePlay. You're welcome to the Red Lounge. I am here with a music executive. If you want anything that has got to do with the DSPs, music, and then music business proper, I think this is the best conversation you should probably save and share with your musical friends or anybody that loves music business. I'm here with Yaldan, and I know where he's from, but today we are going to probe into his expertise more. That is what I really want to know, and what he does for even music industry in Ghana in general. You're welcome to the Red Lounge.
Thank you, Madam Tilly. Thank you for having me.
We've been having a lot of conversation behind the camera, and I'm hoping we can have a really cool one like that.
Yeah, we can have some cool ones
in front of the camera.
If we can do that.
Okay, so then I know that you are more affiliated with OnePlay. Sure. If not, as in you work with OnePlay, you are very close to OnePlay. Sure. Let's talk about you and your job description at OnePlay. What do you do there?
Anyway, so like you rightly said, I'm Yaldan. I'm a music creator with OnePlay Music. Responsible for playlisting and content in general. That's OnePlay Music Ghana. Okay. That's what I do for people.
Okay, for the people that are not well learned in the music thing, when we say a curator, yeah, what does it mean?
So my job basically is to give our users on the app like great music experiences. Okay. So when you go on the app, the playlist, the albums, the singles, everything you see on the app is being handled by us, the creators.
Is it tedious? Because there's a lot, OnePlay, a lot.
That should tell you, like, a lot of releases. You have thousands of songs coming out each week. You have to go through all of them, then decide the path that you can create for each song to be successful on the app.
Okay. Yeah. And so how do you go about it? What do you decide? I mean, for us here at OnePlay, when we are trying to create something like that, we have a campaign we are running, or we have a way of tabulating things. How do you do it? How do you decide that, oh, let's put this song here, let's not put this song here? And some of the challenges that come with even doing a playlist.
Yeah. So it's mostly based on the audience that I'm creating for.
Okay.
So if I'm creating for, let's say, females between 17 to, let's say, 23, I should know the kind of music they want based on what data is telling me on the app. Then I should also be able to predict and know, okay, if they like the song, then I know they're going to like the song too. Use that also to introduce new songs to them through the playlist. So it's all based on the theme or the genre that I'm creating for. Then I know how to move the songs. So
what are some of the popular playlists that, I mean, you've done and it's breaking ground on the platform?
So on the platform, I have Big Hitters. Big Hitters has about 5.5 million plays.
Ooh.
Yes, and I have Friday Feelings. Friday Feelings has about 3.5 million plays. And I have This Be Hot that has about 1 million plays. So yeah. So
what is it like? Do you create it, put it down, and people, or you keep updating it time by time? How is it really like?
So we have two types of playlists on the service. Okay. So we have the editorial playlist, and we have those that we create every single day. So the editorial ones, we update them every week. Like Big Hitters, that is an editorial playlist.
Okay.
So Big Hitters, Friday Feeling, Top Girls, This Be Hot, those are all editorial. So I update them every week. As I receive new music, that's what I do.
Okay, so I know that each of these playlists come with a cover art, yes, mostly an artist. Then, yes, how do you decide? Is it the number one song that you use, or you know?
Mostly it's not number one song. Mostly it's what we get from our distributors, because we have good relationship with our distributors or the aggregators that we work with, and some too comes through our artist relation department. Because our artist relation department, they are in constant talks with these artists. The artists are telling them what they are doing and what they are working on. We also, as creators, pay attention to what's happening on social media. So we all know what happened yesterday on social media. So based on that, on Friday, I know this guy will fit this cover based on the bars that he had that day or within the week. You know, so we use all those insights to decide who comes on the cover.
2021, was there ever a playlist you made that it didn't really go as planned, or there were a lot of challenges, so you had to let go and probably refine it and do something new with it?
Yeah, so 2021, a new playlist we introduced is Afro and B. So Afro and B is basically a mix of Afrobeat and blues. Like a typical example is the Wizkid and Ten song. Essence. That sound.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Afrobeat. Like it sits in between R&B and Afrobeat. The growth has been a bit slow for me. I understand. It's quite new to our users, because if you use OnePlay, OnePlay really reflects locally what we consume as fans of music. So that is the only playlist that we are still seeing how we can grow that sound, because it's something that is building up right now.
Is it because there are not a lot of sounds from here that are probably like
yes,
that to add on?
We don't have a lot of them, and most of them too are quite coming from what you call the indie artists, like new artists. So the big ones, the Manifest, a few of them, the Manifest, the Tinayas, they do those kind of sound. The King Promise does the kind of sound, but you don't have many big artists doing that. So it's like quite a way to introduce them to the music. But at least it's growing at a pace where we feel next year is going to be a thing. Because if you've listened to Manifest new album, has this song with Adenkule Gold. Those are the sounds. Those sounds we believe is going to pick up from 2022.
You listen to music all the time, then that is your job? Or
my job is listening.
Wait, have you found a hack in getting these songs? Because it's like you probably listen to music all the time.
Yeah, I listen all the time. I get this thing, because anytime I interact with artists and managers and I'm telling them about our song, I'm like, hey bro, so you know all this? I'm like, I listen. I've been working in music for quite some time. I started off as a producer, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as a music producer, I produced for some few people, and I veered into curation.
The artists you do this for, let's talk about Ghana for now.
Yes.
Do they even understand the importance of playlists?
2021, I think the understanding has really grown. They're beginning to understand what playlisting does in terms of music consumption itself. The only problem is, locally, we feel like playlisting is like a promotional tool. It's not. It's just your marketing or your promotion shouldn't be just based on playlist. And over here, most artists or most labels or managers feel like the moment you get the playlist, you are done. The playlist is just like a support for whatever activities you are doing around your release. So it's getting there, but we're expecting some growth in 2022 in terms of how they relate with us, the creators and the stores.
Okay, so let's look at 2021 holistically, the year under review.
Yeah.
How do you think playlisting impacted on the music industry in Ghana?
It did. It started from 2020 actually. There are so many examples I can mention.
Please do.
Black Sherif is one huge example. We are all excited for what is happening with Black Sherif. OnePlay, we discovered Black Sherif in 2019, and in 2019, like we have a system where we can easily go to our back end and know what's building up, and we can know, okay, in the next 2-3 months, this song might actually be big in the next 2-3 months, based on how the users are reacting or based on how the spikes are coming on that very content. So we saw that when he dropped Money. And we're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? We didn't know him. Who's this guy? We were just, who's this guy? So our artist relations content acquisition team reached out, they find him. He came to our office. Since then, we have a great relationship. So Sherif is one of the most digitally consumed artists in terms of music on OnePlay. His songs quickly goes to like 1 million streams in about 4 weeks after release. The one with Amrado, Samsonese, just hit 1 million streams.
Gold Digger. Oh, I love this song. Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. I am in for
yeah, so those are the things, because playlisting actually build audiences for artists. That's what the reason I said playlisting is not really a marketing, because it doesn't really build fans for you, but when it does, it gives you audience.
Okay.
And that's what Sherif has, and that we did that for Jackie, Familiar, and all that. So.
Okay, so before we take a break and dive into the other side of the conversation, I want to know, let's do some forecasting in 2022, looking at the back end and what has probably happened. Who do you project as music, the new talents that we have, probably rule the industry like Black Sherif is doing?
Yeah, quite unfortunately, 2021 we didn't get quite too much like new artists really popping off. It was still the Sherifs, the Jackies who were just trying to establish their grounds in a space. We've not really seen one pulled off the head yet, but most of them are quite doing well. There's Marins, there's Brian the Mensa who just dropped an amazing album. There's Baba J who also dropped an amazing EP. You know, like those are like exciting artists coming up. You know, so we are just hoping and praying that 2022 will actually give them that bigger push to be huge like we expect them to be.
Okay, let's take a break and then come and talk about music.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Brian Domensa, and I'm live here at OnePlay Africa. I just want to say a big congratulations to OnePlay Africa for their 1-year anniversary. They've done so well, bringing light to more creatives, and we appreciate y'all.
Welcome back. You're watching the Red Lounge, and my beautiful dress, I keep forgetting to tell you at the beginning of the show though, is by Guy Things, and so you have to go. It's an online platform. Today I'm talking everything online. Online platform, you can also buy something nice to wear. So get something for yourself. 2022, you have to look cool. So go on there and go and order for something nice to wear. Now we're talking about playlisting and all of that. Before that, I see towards the end of the year 2021 there was something that was introduced. I think Spotify did it, and I saw it on
Recap.
The recap.
Yeah.
What really is it about, and how important is that to first the artists and their fan base and even the normal people that stream the music?
So we've been running a recap since 2019. This is not the first time we've been running it. So the recap basically is to inform our users or the artists how their content performed within the year. It's like an hour, like year under review.
Oh.
You know, so within the year 2021, the most listened to new artists, the bigger artists this year, the most searched artists, the fast growing song of the year. So it's all based on content, how the content performed in 2021.
Okay, so what's the difference? I would think that the most listened to artists is probably the most biggest artist. What is the difference here? Let's dive into it proper.
Is the most biggest, but I see there's a confusion when people are saying why is artist A the most searched artist, but it's not that.
Please clear it.
Yeah.
What the difference?
Yeah, so we search stuff. So the most listened to is based on how people spend on your content. So we have something called playtime. Playtime is the number of minutes or hours or seconds users spend on your content. So someone might come to your let's say your artist A, stream your song, play just 30 seconds and skip to the next song. So a stream counts after 30 seconds actually.
Oh, okay.
So right after 30 seconds, the stream will count 1. But that user might not have spent that enough playtime on that very content. They spend just 30 seconds on that content. So you might have an artist where people search them more, but people don't spend time streaming or listening to them.
Okay. The number of streams that appear on a song.
Yeah.
So let's say if I have 1 million streams, does it mean I have 1 million audience, or it could be 50 audience playing it 1 million times?
So it's 50 audience, could be 50 audience listening to the song 1 million times.
Wow.
Yeah, so a user, you can play a song 1,000 times. It will still count. You know?
Okay. And so the most searched is different from
the most listened to artist or the biggest artist on the app. Because this year we all know the biggest artist was, I think, Sarkodie, and the most searched artist was Shatta Wale.
Okay.
You know, so I saw the confusion online, and I'm like, yeah, it's all based on playtime. People search him more, but did they spend time playing or on his content? I don't know.
Okay,
but
so
the data showed they spend time on Sarkodie's release.
There's also most streamed and those kind of things. What's that about? Is it also like the same as the playtime
so the
thing?
most stream is basically play counts. So as the more you get streams within a year, you top that chart.
Okay, so even though you represent Boomplay, I know there are other things that these DSPs, they do with artists. They don't necessarily have to, aside maybe giving them money as part of the royalties they get on that platform. I know they mount billboard. That was very heavy in 2021. In 2022, what are some of the big things that these DSPs, that especially the one you represent, are going to be doing for the music industry to project them, especially because I know there is a big link between Boomplay now and Billboard. How are we going to project our local artists in 2022?
So, like the Billboard example is one of them. We're trying to see how best we can push our talent out of the app. So the outdoor marketing, like the Billboard, the giant Billboard you mentioned is one of them. We are already into content investment. We did that with few artists this year. We did that with Mr. Drew, Wendy Shea, Dope Nation, and we go into collaborations with them. We work on albums with them. Next year, I'm hearing, I can't really put it out because it's not official, because next year it will be much more bigger, because next year they want to work with people who are quite behind the scenes, who are making the music. So this year is more about the performing artists. Next year will be for the composers, like us and the songwriters, the producers, and all of them. So that's something that will be happening next year. The outdoor marketing is still going to happen. We are going to definitely increase our billboards in town. We are going to have a lot of events that we are looking to do next year. So next year, our biggest playlist will be transformed into an event. We are trying to do that, where we'll move it around town just to support new artists or albums or artists coming up with releases 2022.
Okay, so I also know that these DSP, some of them, they buy songs from this thing. Let's talk about that and how it will be also happening in 2022, how you're going to be doing that as a platform. And another thing, how are you also going to support artists, especially those that they are good, but they don't have the financial wherewithal? How are these DSPs coming to help these artists so they can probably pay off later when their songs are doing on their platforms? How are
Anyway, so I think I mentioned that with the content investment, we actually give advances to artists to work on albums.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's what we did that this year. We did that with Sherif, Sherif. We did that with Mr. Drew. We did that with Wendy Shea.
Wait, do you do that with just the musicians, or you do that with right owners?
We do that with the right owners.
Okay.
So those who own the rights. So
Okay.
basically, locally here, the artist owns their rights.
Okay.
So artists are not really signed to.
Because I remember JMJ, when he does his Rhythm of the Gods, there's mostly Boomplay affiliated.
Yes. So the Rhythm of the Gods, GMJ as the label or the executive producer for the project has an agreement with the artist that he uses for the project. Then we also have an agreement also with GMJ based on the content that he's submitting to us.
Okay, all right. So yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah. So the content investment is still going to continue in 2022. Like I mentioned, 2022, the department that's in charge of that is letting us know that they'll be working with composers, as in those who work on the compositions of the music, songwriters, producers, and all. It's not fully, confirmed yet, but if they do confirm, I believe the industry will know. So it'll be an exciting time for songwriters. You don't necessarily need to be a performing artist. You can be a songwriter and still Boomplay will look to support you and what you do.
Okay, let's wrap up this conversation with one question.
Yeah.
In 2022, do you foresee that Ghanaians are going to project the high life music, or they are also going to try and probably fall in line with the Afrobeat and project their music?
Projection for high life music. Quite exciting. I like this question. I don't know. Ghanaians, we like. I think that Ghanaians like borrowing stuff from outside. We like borrowing sound. We like seeing what's happening out and see how best we can also infuse what we have already with it. This year we saw how Amapiano swept everything. Like Amapiano was like the main sound for 2021. 2022, High Life of Us has or will always be around. If you listen to the new R2B's album, it's predominantly High Life based.
Yeah.
Yes, and Kinata is still doing it. Tulinke just dropped a High Life song. That was last week Friday. So that should tell you High Life is still going to be around. But Afrobeat definitely, I see it being a very dominant genre still. Because on the Boomplay platform, Afrobeat is still the most listened to genre. Afrobeat, gospel, hip hop, those are like the top 3 genres. High Life, High life still will be there because I feel like the infusion is what is keeping the genre alive. I don't think you can have like your typical straightforward high life music because of how streaming is. Streaming has broken down the barriers of genres where people need to borrow from other sides and put it together to become like a sound. It's based on sound, not really genre based. So if you listen to that, there's a song on R2B song album called Shio Banka. That's Amapiano high life music lays together. You know, that should tell you what high life will be or will still means to the space this year, what is going to mean to the space next year. But it's never going to die.
Oh, okay. But in projecting high life music in 2022, that's if you don't do it already. Is it as a creator? Are you looking at a playlist for highlight?
Yeah, we do. We have top highlight jams.
Oh, that's nice.
Has over 1 million plays already.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, we have top highlight. We have playlists for every genre you can think about. We have reggae, dancehall vibes, highlight jams, Afro and B, like I mentioned. You know, we have heavily voices that for our gospel art. We have about 4 playlists for our gospel music, and we have 2 playlists for our female artists.
Why two? Why two?
No, we have 2. The men have only 1. That's Boss
okay.
Mix. This Boss Mix has 1 because we know that the men they are already dominant in the space, so the women needs more. So we have top girls and we have girl vibes because we feel like we need to create more paths for the girls also to grow and meet up, be on the same par with the male artists as well. So the men is just 1 Boss Mix. The female is 2 female artists.
Okay. Okay. So in wrapping up, I think all of this you've told me, probably those that will watch will also learn.
Yeah.
How is the platform making a conscious, or how are people like you, experts like you, this one away from the platforms and the affiliations, how are people like you educating especially the artists? Because whatever the case may be, they are the front runners of these conversations. How is education going down to these people?
So people come to our office on the daily. Our office is open to the industry. So they come, they engage with us, they tell us what they are working on. Because of the industry in which we are in, it's quite fast-paced industry. So we are always like learning and all that. So we know what's going to happen next year, what's happening now. So we are able to give such information to the artists or their managers that we work with. And and any other external support that we can give them. You know, there are other artists that we supported them out of our service, and they are quite doing it exceptionally now. You know.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank you too.
I hope you had fun on the Red Lounge.
I did. You know, finally I came on. You know, OnePlay.
Okay, thank you so much, and thanks for the work you're doing for the music industry. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
We also appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you. God bless you for what you're also doing.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for watching too. This has been the Red Lounge, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. The education bit, please learn and apply it if you're a musician or you're affiliated to music. Thank you so much for watching. I am Tilia Kinipa.
OnePlay. Add class to your music.